Live on Instagram. Okay.
Be right with you.
Okay. All right, we is live. Okay. Are we on the air? Yes, we are on the air. Okay. What up, y'all? What up, y'all? How y'all doing this evening? We have a great conversation that we're gonna get into. We're gonna go ahead and send my links out, and then matter of fact, send my links out, and then we'll get started. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bree, real quick. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Bree, real quick. Uh-huh. Okay. You ready? Be on this? You ready, Bree? Mm-hmm. All right. What's up, y'all? This is Toya V. I want to welcome you to Logic Over Emotions. This is a platform for men to speak freely and women to finally listen. Okay? So the man of the hour is who?
Brian Scott, but everybody knows me as B. Scott. What's going on?
Yes. Good evening.
What it do?
Good evening.
Hello,
good evening.
hello.
How are you doing?
We're doing good. And then we got Bree Badu on the lines. Go ahead, girl.
Hey, y'all, hey.
So today's topic is ambition versus fatherhood. Let's go ahead and get started.
Ambition without rest equals a dead man.
Nobody talks about the pain of working for the life your kids deserve, but not having to spend the time with them.
My mom was working so much that it blew up in the middle of the night.
And it literally happened in the middle of the night.
Most men who are ambitious wake up about 3:30.
Yeah.
That's scary, because that happens.
I know I can call 70% of y'all at 3:30, and it won't go past the first ring, because you're up.
How do you balance enough is enough?
Sorry, y'all, we had a little technical difficulties. Well, did everybody hear that?
If not, you might want to play it one more time so we can get the full
One more game.
one more again so we can get the.
I don't know why it didn't play. Oh, there you go.
Ambition without rest equals a dead man.
Nobody talks about the pain of working for the life your kids deserve, but not having to spend the time with them.
My mom was working so much that it blew up in the middle of the night.
And it literally happened in the middle of the night.
Most men who are ambitious wake up about 3:30.
Yeah.
That's scary, because that happens.
I know I can call 70% of y'all at 3:30, and it won't go past the first ring, because you're up.
How do you balance enough is enough?
All right. Now, tell me why you thought this was a good topic to talk about.
Well, I think men as a whole have a hard time a lot of times balancing, raising families and working, trying to succeed at the American dream. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times there's a lot of pressure put on us to succeed, not only, outside the house, but inside the house as well.
Right.
So, there's real discussion that needs to be had anytime it comes down, for what's most important, mm-hmm. spending time with your kids, mm-hmm. or grinding in order to make a great life for your kids.
Right.
So I mean, there's a balance there that that should be made. But many times, we as men, you know, we lose sight of what's most important.
Right.
And I guess, you know, it's a subjective thing as to what important looks like. Because to some people, important is I got to get that money. I got to get that money. I gotta chase the bag. Whereas, you know, other people, they're spending time.
Right.
So, you know, when I saw this topic, I said, this is a real, you know, real thing for men. A lot of times that there's not a lot of discussion on. It's just something that we do.
And you're just supposed to do it.
Yes, you are supposed to do it. Yes. Do we always do it? No. And sometimes if we feed one wolf more than the other, then the other one starves.
Right.
So that's why there's, you know, there has to be a balance between the two. And a lot of times we don't know how to, you know, don't know how to make that balance. So, you know, that's the reason why I said this is a good topic to have some type of discussion on, because it's not really something that we as men, we talk about.
And you don't have the platform to talk about it too, because everything is woman based.
That's true. That's true. And then even a lot of times when there's male based topics, we're gonna talk about sports. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're always gonna touch on sports, or we're gonna touch on, you know, sex or politics or, you know, things like that. We a lot of times we don't get to, you know, some of the don't peel back the layers,
right,
to see what's, you know, to see what's underneath, what actually drives us, you know, as men, and what are a lot of our concerns.
Okay, so let's get a little personal, sir. Let's get a little personal.
Okay.
So when did you so you had to be that situation, you had to be in that situation where it was just you and your children, right? And so how did that come to be? And then how did you get your mind ready to do that? Because as we spoke to before, you had to do this on your own until you got with your new partner.
Okay. So early on, I had my son when I was 19, and I was in the military. I had left college. I was at Howard University, HU, and went into the military, went into the Air Force. And I had my son, I was 19, turning 20. And he was with me at the time, and his mom at the time was there with me, and she decided to leave and go back home. Well, when she went home, she took him with her. So when I got out of the military and went back to Ohio, he was about 3 or 4 years old. And she basically called me up one day and was like, you know, it's kind of hard for me right now. Can you take him? And I was like, absolutely.
Right.
It wasn't even a second thought. You know, I'm 24 maybe. And, you know, I was working, you know, had a pretty good job. And, you know, it wasn't even a second thought. Because my philosophy was, when I eat, my son gonna eat.
Right.
So, you know, it was just he and I. He was probably 3 or 4 years old, and I was living with my grandmother at the time because my grandfather had passed away, and you know, I was living with her, helping her out. So Brian Jr. came to live with me, and you know, I knew. I mean, it was never a second thought to say, well, should I do this or could I do this? You know, no, it was, I'm gonna make this work because this is mine.
Right.
so the work-life balance, kind of worked itself out because I made sure that the type of job that I had while he was in school, I was at work.
Right.
When I got off work, he's off school. So, and then all of the time that, that I spent as far as my personal time, I made sure he was with me. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, I met my wife in 1999. My son was 9. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I mean, it was a great match. I remember one particular time when she and I were dating. I used to play in about 5 or 6 different basketball leagues.
Right.
I mean, I was
bowling.
That was my thing. That was my thing. So, and of course, I would take Brian Jr. with me. So everybody knew when they saw B. Scott, they saw Lil B.
Right.
Well, this one day in particular, I think I had a game. It was probably 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening, and I was getting my stuff ready. Mm-hmm. Well, Brian Jr. knew the routine, so he was getting his little stuff ready.
Right.
My wife Tara, she was like, "Well, where do you think you're going?" And he was like, "I'm going with my dad." Uh-huh. She said, "No, you got school in the morning."
Right.
He said, "So I'm gonna stay with you?" And she said, "Yeah." And he was like, "Okay."
Right.
He was, and from that day on, it was kind of like understood the family dynamic was being shaped.
Right.
So ever since then, the work-life balance was made a lot easier because
you had Tara.
Because I had a partner that was willing and able and knew what to do.
Right.
When I wasn't able to be there. But one thing about me is always family first. Mm-hmm. So I made sure that I made my money, but I also made time for my family.
Right.
So anybody that knows me knows that, it ain't just, oh man, Brian is, he live at that job. I'm going to make my money, but I'm also going to take care of my kids.
Mm-hmm. So, in between the ages of 3 and 9, it was just you, your grandma, and your son. Mm-hmm. So you did have the support of your grandma, which gave you more time to make more money, correct?
Yes. Yeah. She was a huge help. She was a huge help. Because a lot of times I didn't really look into having much of a personal life, aside from maybe playing basketball, when I could. And most of the time I took him with me. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, I think she enjoyed having him around. It made her feel better. Mm-hmm. Because it kind of
keeps you youthful.
And it made her see, because she raised me.
Right.
My grandmother raised me, so it actually gave her, I think it kind of reminded her of when I used to be young.
Right.
So, I remember a funny story that she told me one time. I had gone to, she would tell me, "I don't care what you do as long as he's asleep.
When you leave. So I remember this one time, I think I was working late or something, and he goes to bed at 9. Mm-hmm. Well, not now, but when he was young. I mean, he's a grown man now.
I mean, he's 36 now, but when he was 9, 8, 7 years old, he knew he had to go to bed at 9.
Right.
He'd take his bath, 8:30, get into bed, 9 o'clock, turn on the light. Well, my grandma had fallen asleep. Right. Brian Jr. walks into her room and says, "Hey, Mama, you need to wake up and put me to bed." So, and she was like, "Oh Lord, okay, all right, but you know, it was real good to have, you know, to have her, you know, there for what she provided. Mm-hmm. I didn't put a lot on her. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, as far as, I mean, she only done what she wanted to do, not what she had to do.
Right.
Because I was there to do everything else,
right.
As far as, you know, school.
You did what you had to do, so that she could do the, you know, the other stuff. Or what she
do it right. If she saw that he, I don't know, he might be coughing or something, and she may say, Brian, you need to give him some of that Vic Sab and do blah blah. Mm-hmm. You know, it was just good to have her there, and I think she enjoyed him being there because, you know, he made a big fuss over her, and y'all know how it is with and that was her great grandson.
Right, right,
yeah.
So you know, it was just a different dynamic, but you know, that I enjoyed.
So you pick jobs that fit the lifestyle so that you would be there for your kid. Because I remember you saying something that, you know, while he's at work, while he's at school, you was at work, and when he got off, you was getting off. So like, you really, did you go after your dream, and that dream fell into that 9 to 5 time slot, or did you was just like, I gotta find a job to make money, and it's gotta be between 9 to 5? Like,
well, early on, I basically was looking at, you know, I was just trying to find any type of employment. Mm-hmm. Later on down the line, I was blessed to get a job where I was making really good money in a manufacturing plant. Mm-hmm. Well, I worked like 7 to 3:30 or something like that. So, you know, I was able to, you know, to stay on that shift. Mm-hmm. You know, so and you know, I was able to make moves like you know, like I needed to. But there were times like during that plant when I went on second shift, which sucks. Mm-hmm. I mean, that shift is not for family.
Right. It's not.
It's like 4
all day to go to work.
Exactly. Because I was working from 4 to 12 or something like this.
That used to be my schedule for midnight. Yeah.
I mean, but how do you? Because you leaving and they're not there. Then when you get home, they're asleep.
Right.
So it's kind of like, okay. So I had that shift. I don't know, probably maybe 6 months or something like that.
You're like, nah.
It was killing me because I wouldn't get no sleep. My kids would have games, and I would have to use my lunch to go watch them. All right. Okay, I'm gone. You know, I'm out. Yeah. You know, so I'd say I had that job until probably 2007 when my oldest, when he graduated. Mm-hmm. And then I was out playing golf one day with my dad and his best friend. And they told me that I should have been in sales. They said, "Oh, Brian, you missing your calling, man. You need to be in sales." I'm like, "Why?" "Well, because you got the gift of gab and..."
You must be a master manipulator.
Yeah. You have the power.
You must be a master manipulator.
He said you have the power of persuasion.
Right.
You know how to, you know,
persuade people to buy stuff that they can't afford. Got it.
Or, you know, like they say, sell.
You really do.
You really need
you're
this.
Missing out.
Right. Come on now. See, sell water to a whale, ice to an Eskimo. Yeah. So then he said you like money.
Right.
And you make your own schedule.
Right.
That was huge. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, I'll try it because I respected them. They both retired sales.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'll try it. Got into insurance sales and basically make your own schedule.
Right. Fact.
That's a no-brainer.
Right.
And made really good money.
Right.
So I'm thinking, so I could work 2-3 hours a day, write up a couple clients, and make over $100,000 a year.
Right.
Oh, please. And I can go to all my kids' practices and every game and be at home for dinner. Please. So that's why that was a blessing within itself to be able to, be in that field to take care of, what we said earlier. Which one are you feeding? Mm-hmm. Are you going to feed chasing the bag, or are you going to feed taking care of your family?
Right.
I'm feeding the wolf of both. I'm going to give them both, equal so that they both will be strong.
Do you feel like that lesson was taught from your father or your grandma? Mm-mm. Of feeding both wolves? Or you think you had to deal with that as you were raising
That's
him?
Interesting. I think that's interesting. I will say I saw my mom do that. My grandmother didn't work. Mm-hmm. My grandmother was a I don't know if y'all know.
Big Mama.
Yeah.
Old school grandmas. They don't.
At home.
Right. Old school grandmas. They don't. She was always there.
Right.
So you knew if you was out late or if any day of the week, anytime you knock on that door, mm-hmm. Grandma is going. Yes, baby.
What you need, baby?
She's gonna be there.
Right.
Mama, I'm hungry.
Okay.
Got some rice in there on the stove. Go look in the refrigerator. She got you.
She got you.
She got you. So, I lost my train of thought. What the heck was
I saying? Where did you learn that?
Where did you learn?
Come on now, help me out now.
Where did you learn to feed both wolves? You were saying that you saw
your mom. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I saw my mom do it. Yeah. Right. So she was real good at working and then paying close attention to the family as far as activities and dinners and sitting down together and all that kind of stuff. So that was just something that I knew personally that's what I wanted to do. Because I really enjoy being with my family.
Yeah, it's family oriented.
Yeah. I love all the chaos, love all the noise, love all the, the hoopla. I'm good with that. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because now that they're all grown and the house is kind of quiet, it's kind of like, man, I kind of need some noise.
Right.
So I mean, that's I guess that's where I learned it, and I think once you start doing it, mm-hmm. I think it's just something that it becomes a habit,
right?
And if it feels good to you, and you also have, and I think having friends also.
Yeah, because the last time we were talking about brotherhood, the last time you came on the show, mm-hmm. and you feel like that also helped you build a good nuclear friendship, family.
Yeah, because I think having friends who do the same things, that helps out too. And that's a ding because it is. that is a ding because when you have friends,
right,
that are like-minded,
right,
when y'all are out, then you can say, "It's time for me to go." Yeah, bro, me too.
Right.
I need to go home to the because so and so Junior is he ain't doing too good in school, so I need to go home and handle that.
Right.
So it is good to have like-minded folks. I never forget when I was playing on a traveling basketball team. I was probably 36, maybe 37, and we would travel to different cities, Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh, we would travel. Well, Cleveland from Dayton is about 3.5 hours. And I remember we had a game, in Cleveland. Now what happens is after the game, we would have a cabaret. Mm-hmm. All the teams would come in and we would have, a big party that mm-hmm. night. Well, I taught Sunday school. Mm-hmm. to the teens, and my oldest son was in that class, mm-hmm. and a lot of his friends. So I remember playing the game, and one of my friends was like, "You staying for the cabaret?" And I was like, "Nah, man, I gotta get back to Dayton." He was like, "Tonight?" I I said, yeah, I'm about to drive. Because the game was over with. It's probably about 8. Mm-hmm. So, it's going to take about 3.5. So I'll get to about 11:30, 12. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I go to sleep, wake up, going to church.
Right.
He couldn't fathom, which talks about the mentality. Mm-hmm. And he had kids also. Mm-hmm. But he couldn't fathom leaving and not going to the party. Mm-hmm. As opposed to going home and being with your family.
Right.
So there were, I told him, I said, oh no, I have, you don't understand. This is my fun.
Right.
I came up here, I did what I love doing.
Right. Which
is playing playing basketball. Then I came back because my family, it's something that I enjoy also. Mm-hmm. I don't have to throw on some clothes and kick it with y'all and drink and get drunk and, have a party. Because it was like an every 2-week thing.
Right. Where
we would travel to different cities and play. So, I mean, I see the same people, we dance into the same stuff. I'm calibrated out. Different. Priorities were different, exactly. And that's what I'm saying as far as he wants to feed the party wolf.
The ambition type of...
Yeah, he wants to kick it, feed it. Where his family, his kids was, like...
Like, did he have the same type of support? Like, was he like a single dad as well? Or
he wasn't a single dad. He was... His kid's mother had the kids. But she was very open to him getting them whenever. Yeah. Which I guess gave him that frame of mind.
He had more freedom than you did.
Right.
Like it was a different type of...
Well, I could have taken that freedom as well. She knew that I was up in Cleveland and that I would be playing and that if I wanted to go to the cabaret and then after that, spend the night and then come home first thing early the next morning. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't my thing. I would prefer to come home that night, and be with her and the kids because I knew that next day, it's time to get up and go to church. And I knew that the kids were looking at me. Mm-hmm. I got 3 boys and a daughter, and I knew that all 3 of them, well, all 4, mostly, the boys though. I never wanted them to have a bad example. That was always in the back of my mind. So I didn't carry myself in a way where they would look at me and be like, okay, yeah, I see where his priorities are. No, they're not in the streets. They're with y'all.
Okay, so my question is, looking at society now, right? What do you think is the hurdle for men to come to that understanding of the balance that you gotta get your money, but you also have, you also have to worry about your children. What do you think are some of the obstacles that men today have to deal with that you probably didn't have to deal with? Is it like structure? There's no structure of family now, or like, because I know you. I mean, you're a very popular man in your organization and your friendhood. So I know that you've seen the good and the bad of men taking more of their energy on getting their bag versus their fatherhood. So what would you say some of those hurdles or pitfalls were? Or are?
I'll say one of the big ones, and I know this is gonna might cause you to hit the oh my God, but
you want me to hit the button, I'll hit the button for you.
But the kids' mothers.
Oh my God.
Thank you, I love that. I need to start saying more things where she can hit that. But that's a lot of times because I hear so much on that part as far as a lot of men that are trying to be in their kids' lives and the relationship between them and their child's mother didn't work out for whatever the reason is.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, the custodial parent is going to be the woman.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of men out there who want to have that bond, that relationship with their kids. But they're not, they aren't allowed, I should say, because the woman still has control.
Right.
And she exerts that control in a negative way because of the hurt and the pain that she feels that she's going through.
Mm-hmm.
So her way of controlling, she can't control him.
Right.
So the only way she can control him is through the child that she knows that he loves.
Right.
Or the children.
Right.
So that's one of the big hurdles. And then, of course, them chasing a bag, depending on what the bag is and how they're chasing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, as I was saying before, when you're in manufacturing, most jobs, there's a set time. Mm-hmm. 9 to 5, 8 to 6, there's a set time. Mm-hmm. So you go to work, you come home, there's your kids. If you're chasing a bag, if you're a party promoter, or if you're a stripper, if you're a DJ, you never know how your hours could fluctuate, or hell, even if you're a drug dealer, whatever you're doing that can take away from your time, that can also be an obstacle. Mm-hmm. So I guess you can call that not enough structure.
Right.
Because if there's no structure, you're freelancing. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of times, a lot of men can't handle freelancing. Because when they freelance, that gives you too much freedom.
Right.
And they're like, I'll get them on the weekend. I'll do this, I'll do that. Whereas if there's structure, a lot of times, then it'll force you.
Right.
You know what I mean? To take on that, to take on more of that responsibility.
Mm-hmm. So, have you had to talk to men, have you had to look at younger men and be like, listen, you had to tell them that they had structure, or you've been through that situation? Have you had to mentor to younger men about how to manage ambition and fatherhood?
Yeah, I think sometimes I think it comes natural sometimes. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is you have people in your life that look at you and look up to you, and they see what you're doing. So naturally they'll say, hey man, did you go through, your son when he did this or when he did that, or, when your daughter did this or this or that, what did you do? Right. And then, that's when it'll take, because a lot of people don't like you telling them what to do, especially with their kids. Tell them nothing like, you raising your kids the way you want to raise your kids, and don't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you kind of got to be
wait for them to come talk to you.
Yeah, because I never forget that same guy that I was talking about earlier. His kids were young. Mm-hmm. We were younger, probably maybe 25, 26. Kids were like 4, 3 and 4, 5. Mm-hmm. Smoke hella weed. Just smoke weed all the time. Well, one day I was over his house, and I said, bro, the kids is like right there. You getting high. You getting high as hell. Right. And the kids is literally like right there.
They getting high too.
They getting high too.
It's a family thing.
It's a family affair. Right. So the first thing he says is, "Oh, Playboy, they'll be all right." Mentality. And I couldn't fathom. In my mind, I'm thinking, dang. Even though I was like in my mid-20s, I couldn't fathom doing something like that with them, with them in the room. Just because I believe there's a place for a child and there's a place for adults. And that is not in the same space. It's not always in the same space. So, and I mean, old school values. My father used to say, well, not used to, he says it now. He says that, and I'm sure you've heard me say it, and I'm probably going to repeat it 100,000 times. We're so busy giving our kids what we didn't have that we don't give them what we did. Because we got disciplined, we got our ass whooped, we got put on punish, we got put in our place. Whereas now, it's a little difficult because a lot has changed as far as, the kids and
access to internet.
And there's just
social media.
There's just so much. Exactly. There's just so much that if you don't stay on them, and if you don't, do what you need to do, they can get away. They get. I mean, you can lose it, and then you go back. It goes back to that mentoring thing that you were talking about earlier. Excuse me. The mentoring thing. If I might see something, and it depends on if the guy and I are real close. I'll say something.
Right.
I mean, because my grandmother used to say this too. I'd rather say something and you be mad at me than me not say something and something happen.
Facts. So Bree, what the chat talking about today?
So we're not getting too much engagement tonight, but we have sidewaysradio.com. He was talking about we just have to learn to make our wants our needs, and our needs our wants the only way to seek balance. And that's when I was talking about like the structure, in the balance of like raising kids and also like just being a father. So that's pretty much.
You said needs and wants and wants.
We have
and
to
needs.
make our wants our needs and our needs our wants.
Okay.
Like instead of just saying like how we saying like I was hungry today. I shouldn't just want food. I need it. Like I should look at it like that instead of just wanting it. Because if you want food too much, now you big bag.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I can like.
She said big bag. That's the best way
I can like.
So basically, balance.
Yeah, balance. Yeah, that's what he said.
Balance.
The only way to seek balance is to.
So real quick, wife chimed in and she said to basically, she's talking about my oldest son now because my oldest son has a son.
Right.
My little grandson.
Your grandfather?
My little grandson.
Oh, I didn't know that. Grandpapa.
Pop.
Pop.
He calls me Pop.
Pop.
He's 10. So he calls me a lot of times now, of course, being like, Dad. And here's the thing. I love him to death, to my son. But he's on this, this new parent. I believe in letting him express himself. Let him.
Was it gentle parenting?
That don't work.
Yeah,
Not even with dogs. It's animals.
Let him.
My bill. I'm tired of this. I can't do this.
Look, let him express himself, Dad. So I'm like, oh, let's see how that works out. Because the thing is, like I told him, I was giving my opinion. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, oh no, you're learning to formulate opinions when you're growing up.
Right.
You're not ready yet, until you get out on your own. I never forget. I was sitting in the car one day and I was riding in the back seat. My mom and dad, they were talking. I knew the answer to the question, so I decided to chime in, and I said something. Bow, and I got knocked back into the back seat, and I was thinking, dang. Look, y'all could be talking about 2 + 2 and not even know the answer. And I'm going to sit here just like this. I know it's 4, but I'm not saying nothing to y'all. Because And like I had to tell my son, I said, you can give kids choices, but you got to be smart about it. Like, you can let them make a decision, but guess what I'm going to say? Do you want spinach or broccoli? I'm not going to say, do you want vegetables today? Mm-hmm. No, I'm going to say...
You get one of the other vegetables,
but you got to choose.
Right. Or when I put out the clothes, you know, I say, okay, you can wear this or here's the shoes. Choose between the shoes. Here's some pants and here's a top. Choose. You know, I don't see you with no cowboy boots or hat, some sweats, shoulder pads, a Jerry Rice jersey.
Structure. Like there's no structure. So I think
there's no structure.
I think when I said something about the chat being quiet, they got a little offended. So we have I am Andre Tyrone. He said we are giving all of these sayings, but nobody is saying how. So I was kind of feeling it too. Like we're saying that like okay, you need structure, but how do we create that structure?
Let's answer that. How do you create the structure?
By having rules. You create structure by, as I was talking about earlier. You take your bath by 8:30. You're in the bed. You're asleep by 9:00. You know, TV's off. You know, 9:00. Homework done before you are able to go outside. Housework done. Dishes. Your room is clean before you're able to, you know, go play with your friends. You know, there's rules. So creating structure is following rules.
And understanding there are consequences if you don't.
And understanding that there are... Bingo. That's a ding.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Understanding that there are consequences. That's the major thing. Because you could sit up here and say, Johnny, stop that. Johnny, stop that. Johnny, you better stop that. Get down, Johnny. Don't... If you don't handle Johnny, something. If you don't handle Johnny gonna keep doing whatever he is doing without you. You know. So to answer your question, you have to create rules, and you have to create consequences for not following those rules. Okay. Those create the structure. And believe it or not, any psychologist will tell you that kids crave structure. Yes. They crave discipline. They crave structure. I'll tell you this also, which I'm getting personal and everything, because you know that's what I do. I don't hide nothing. See, my sleeves are up. It doesn't matter. When
okay, go ahead.
I remember we went down to okay. My son's mom lives in Texas.
Right.
Okay. So I can't remember how old Brian Jr. was, but we decided to go down there for Christmas. Mm-hmm. We go down there for Christmas one year, and she has a room for him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And back in the day, you know, those big screen TVs with the big back, you know, the big ones that sat on the floor. Mm-hmm. He had one of those. You know, room was decked out. He could have anything he wanted. So I remember I got down there and I was like, dang, this dude has it good down here.
Right.
You know, he can pretty much have whatever he want and do whatever he want. Mm-hmm. I said, man, he might not want to come back, you know, with me. So when we were getting ready to leave, you know, I'm asking him, I'm like, you ready to go? He said, yeah. I said, so you don't want to stay here? No. I want to go back with you. Oh, okay. Well, cool. And that's one of the things that, you know, said to me early on, oh, kids crave discipline and structure as opposed to just being freelanced.
So we have a few comments that came in. Mr. J Positive said a few things. We were just talking about like finding a balance. He was like, I got money, but I always found a balance to make money and enjoy life because I didn't want to have a woulda, coulda, shoulda, killing myself just chasing money. But then he also came in and said about structure. I say create structure first. I say create structure first. You get established. What's important to you? Because once it's going to be always there. I'm confused. But when you mentioned about I think when you mentioned about the psychologist would say that kids want
the structure and they want discipline.
Yeah, and the discipline. She said psychologist here, and I would like to challenge that in love. So I did write her, and I told her just give us a call unless you wanted to.
She can call.
Is she
I
saying
put the number on there for her?
So is she saying that she challenges the discipline part?
That they crave it.
That they crave discipline or they crave love? They can't crave.
I think that she's saying that she's challenging that they crave discipline. I think that we all, like, just as humans, crave like some type of love.
Right.
I think that's what she was saying.
Okay, because love can be, you could be showing love in disciplining. It's tough.
In the type of discipline, yeah, like.
Right.
She said she can't call in right now. Okay.
It is tough, love. Now, I do have somebody, that sent me a message that said, and as they say nowadays, stand on business. When you say something, you have to stick to it. Our generation is too nice.
Yeah, I would think so, because there's certain cultures that I see at Walmart or Kroger, and they are like you said, Johnny sit down, and there's no consequences. The consequences. So they're like, you're not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? They try you, like, you're not going to take mine. You know what I mean? But when you see our culture do it, you know what I mean? You side eye, and it's just like,
you don't have to say anything.
Just side eye. Yeah. Just the side eye or whatever like that. Or you get like when I was younger, I got the talk, we're going in here and you're not getting nothing. Okay?
Don't touch nothing. Don't look at nothing. Yeah.
You're not going
hands in your pocket.
Yeah,
right.
You're not doing anything. All right? Right. Just don't. We're going here and we're coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think by our culture having those structures, that's why we tend not to do like mass shootings and certain stuff like that, because we have those, hey, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. At a very young age, we are taught, especially black men, you got to act this type of way, because if you don't act this type of way, they're going to lock you up. You don't want to get locked up. So we learn at a very young age that there is a consequence to anything that we do. You know what I mean?
And most of the time when we do break the rules, it's more of a, I call it a lazy thing, because they're trying to get money, like I said, the lazy way, as opposed to, because that same guy I keep going back to, he used to say, that's my guy, but he would say, I don't know how you wait two weeks for a check. And I used to be like, well, it ain't like I spend the whole thing in one day. I mean, I'm and then also I don't like looking over my shoulder. So
right,
that's you can it's a mentality as well. So I mean, I to each his own.
Got a few comments. So Coach said that she said, what I'm saying is that I'm challenging that children crave discipline and structure. I was challenging him leading with love. Most psychologists would share that children crave safety and security. Don't get me wrong, we're saying similar ideas, but using different terminology.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. They do crave safety.
Yeah, and then sidewaysradio.com said he wants to know, where's that guy now? Your friend that you keep making reference to. He got
okay. He has been locked up twice, but he's out and he's actually doing pretty good now. He has a little business, going on, and heck, we're in our mid 50s now, so and I'm sure he's learned a lot of life lessons, and some people learn life lessons later on in life, whereas some of us, we tend to catch on to things a little bit quicker.
And he may not have had the same type of discipline or structure that you did when you were growing up. So he had to get that at a later age. He had to go through those situations, get locked up or whatever, so that he could be like, okay, this is not where it's at. Like, I don't want to.
So he could learn.
Way.
Right.
Some people gotta like hit their head. I tell my nephews that all the time. Like, y'all just gotta hit y'all. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of giving y'all advice or whatever. You don't listen. You just gonna bump your head, get them knots, and then you'll figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'll touch the soul. You'll touch the soul. It's not hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you bring yourself to the white meat like I did. Like,
right.
You're welcome, Coach.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody. There are always life lessons that that we still learn. But the thing is, we hope that a lot of the life lessons aren't detrimental.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, Muhammad Ali said, if you're doing the same things at 55 that you did at 25, you wasted 30 years.
Ooh, that's a nice one. I never heard that before.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, if you're doing the same things, what did you learn? You didn't learn anything. You basically are the same person that you were when you were younger. Everybody has to evolve some kind of way. So, I mean, some people were born grown.
Bree, wise, young thing, wise, got wisdom.
Like, thank you.
You're welcome.
But see, but I have older parents. I have older parents. My mom had me when she was 37, and by the time I have 3 older brothers, and so I'm 36. They're all 50 and up. So like by the time I came around, I was really just around adults. I wasn't around too many kids or whatever. So I guess that would be why like I think the way I do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have that, or like you said, it just starts at like that foundation or whatever. Like you mentioned your friend or whatever. Like he just might not have just had people that, like when he was growing up, in his environment, might not have had people that he could necessarily look up to that would show him right from wrong. So he got to figure it out on his own.
Okay, I give it a.
Listen. And the only reason why
I want to roll.
Listen. The only reason why I'm saying that is because you are exactly right. And if you knew the family dynamic, brother, cousins, and they all,
doing
so
the same things.
Right. So it's kind of like
you gotta break
somebody got to get out that environment.
You gotta break the curse, the pattern.
Yeah. But once again, it's a choice.
Right.
It's a choice, and if you choose to learn something new, we can learn something new every day. It's about how we apply it. I always knew, like for instance, I don't drink. Okay, did I used to drink? Yeah. Did I used to get high? Yeah. But it's like I saw what it was doing to people, and I'm like, I don't need to drink. I have a great time when I'm out and not even drinking. Because I'm naturally, and you know me. I mean, I've always been like this. I'm like, that's just me.
It's just naturally.
Yeah. That's just me all the time. So I don't have. Some people, they can see that. Okay. Perfect example. They build a new prison. Okay. They see that they're these guys out here doing what they're doing, but they see that they're building prisons every day and they locking folks up. Does that stop them from doing what they're doing? I mean, no. They see it right there. They see, okay, they're building that prison. It's all about money. They want to lock your ass up. It doesn't matter to them. They're going to still do the same things, that they're doing, knowing what the consequences are.
Most people seek pleasure. Like this makes me feel good. I don't care about the consequences so much or whatever. If I think I can get away with it, if I know that it's gonna make me feel good.
Yeah. Some people like the thrill of getting caught.
Or just the thought of
not getting caught, but getting away with it.
Yeah,
getting away with it.
I'm about to say, but the freedom aspect to me, I don't know. I love being able to watch ESPN whenever I want, eat whatever I want, go wherever I want. Don't lock me up. And there's a comment here that one of my boys said. He said parents are trying to be their kids' friends and they don't know how to distinguish between the two, as opposed to, you know, being a disciplinarian. You're trying to say, well, I don't want to make him mad.
Man, I became my mom's friend when I left her house.
You know, that's different for me because me and my mom were always like besties. Like, I remember, like, we had went to, and I know it's about the men, but I'm sorry. But we were in Dillard's, and I don't know what my mama said to me, but I said something smart back. But I wasn't serious. You know, like, I know when to shut up, you know? And the lady looked at my mom, and she was like, you gonna let her talk to you like that? And my mama said, first of all, she know, like, when to, like, this my child, I got this. Right. But she knows her limits. I know my boundaries. Mm-hmm. Like, I know what I can and cannot say to my mom. Like, we've always, like, been, it's like being me and her, like, forever. Mm-hmm. So, like, a lot of people, like, always had, like, because I would diss my friends to go out with my mama. Because for one, she got the bag, she got the money, so I know, like, right. So I know if I go out with her, I'm gonna eat good, like we finna go shopping and all of that, like, so, like, we've always been, like, really good friends. Like, even now, like, I can call her and we can talk on the phone for hours. Yeah, you know? Me too.
I think that's good. Yeah.
But I knew.
What I can say, what I can't say. You knew that invisible line that was there of respect and love and cherish that you have for your mom. You know what I'm saying? And like, you may tell her something, but you might leave some of the stuff out of it. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be disrespectful.
And that's the same way it is with my boys now. Because like I said, they're 25, 29, and 36. But they know it's like, oh yeah, we gonna talk a lot of trash about the games, and we gonna do, you know, X, Y, Z. But we know that there's a line that we don't cross with this man, because we know that he's not right. He ain't screwed too right.
Correct. And we go upside your head.
And he know that, you know, a lot of stuff has not changed. One last comment from my boy Marcus says, success in life requires proper decisions, and proper decisions require discipline. Mental maturity and mental fortitude at the end of the day comes from within. Whatever we set our minds to, coupled with discipline and the right mind set, equals accomplishing your goals, which is, in a nutshell, which is true.
Right. Now, you know, I'm coming to the end.
Man, so soon, so fast.
So an hour goes by really quick when you're having fun and the conversation is amazing. So I have a few questions. Before we get out of here. One, what would you tell your younger self? What you know today, what would you tell your younger self?
Get your credit right. That's the first thing.
That's the first thing? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why
I thought it was going to be something long.
No.
I
don't know. Because I think that's something that we as black people, it's like we don't hear that enough.
Black people weren't taught financial literacy.
Right. And then I think that there are things that we like, because we aren't taught it in school. Right. And your father, I don't mind, and mother didn't sit down and say, okay, Brian, you need to have a 750 at least credit score. So, you know, in order for you to make moves in life. It was more or less like, I got mine, so you get yours, you figure it out. Right. And, you know, whether you figure it out at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, you know, you have to learn it on your own. So my thing is, I would tell my younger self to get your credit right. Get that straight. As far as the other things, there's a lot of, I guess, things that you can think about that you wish that you may have done different. Mm-hmm. But then if you are, a spiritual person, then you know that God has ordered your steps, and where you are today is, a direct result from the path that was chosen for you. Mm-hmm. So I guess, whether the people that you met, the relationships that you, been through and established in life, they were put they were put there on purpose.
Right.
So all of the things that you went through, all of the lessons that you learned, it was kind of like, meant.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that, that credit thing. And listen to older people.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Pryor used to say, "You ain't get old by being no fool."
Right.
So, which is something that you can tell these young people today, because man, they really think that they're on your level.
Yes, they try to know.
It's
okay. My next question
is a whole nother show.
Yeah, you can always come back.
Yeah.
Next question is, what would you tell the young men right now that are dealing with the challenge of balance and ambition and fatherhood? What would be some things that you would tell them right now?
I would say make your strongest attempt to feed both wolves. And what I mean by that is get your money, but spend the time with your family, because you can't get that time back. There's if someone asks you what's more important, time or money,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say time.
Right.
Because money comes and goes. Time just keeps, time is constant.
Right. You can never get it back.
No matter how much money you got,
Mm-hmm.
you can't get time back.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who have a lot of money and they're not here right now.
And,
I get a ding for myself.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And there are also a lot of people that have a lot of money that aren't happy. That their life is miserable. They're miserable.
Right.
So time is huge. So don't time goes by so fast. You look up and like I said, your kids are grown and gone. Mm-hmm. So.
So let everybody know where they can follow you at.
On Instagram, Nupe B. Scott, NUPEBSCOTT. And by the way, you didn't tell me happy belated Founders Day for the men of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, who celebrated 115 achieving years on Monday, January 5th.
Gonna give us a shimmy real quick.
Okay, hold up. Shimmy, and then we're gonna give it the
hit him with the shoulders.
Let's say hit him with the shoulders.
There you go. Okay. Happy birthday.
So that
So on Instagram,
Nupe B. Scott, and then on Facebook is just me, Brian Scott. On what's another one? Twitter, same thing. X, Twitter, X, and then you got TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. It's I think it's the same thing. Nupe B. Scott. I'll be.
I'm just saying that Bree, go ahead and let them know where they can reach you at, girl.
Bree _Badu. That's pretty much across all platforms. Yeah, that's on all platforms. I ain't giving out my Facebook. I don't need my friends on Facebook.
Bree.
I don't be doing nothing on there anyway, so yeah. Catch me on TikTok or Instagram. That's pretty much all
And I am Toya V. You can follow me on everything at Toya Victorious. Okay, so we got an announcement now. You can now watch us on YouTube. Search at Logic Over Emotions Pod. And you can watch us live and you can see the BTSs and everything else that goes on. So in case you don't want to watch on Instagram, you can go to YouTube at Logic Over Emotions Pod. Make sure you subscribe, leave some comments, okay? And if you are not a follower of the show, please follow Logic Over Emotions so we can get our numbers up on that. And we will see you next week, same time, right here on Logic Over Emotions.
Thank y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back. Thank you, Toya, for having me back again. And look forward to being back again. But that's it for the live for the day. I got to get home and see what's